Well, this is another occasion where the video did not record sound, so I'm going to tell you roughly what I'm saying here, because I think it's quite apt to start this video. I'm now back at Middlewich, and I'm going to take a left as soon as I go down through King's Lock here, and onto the Middlewich branch of the Shropshire Union Canal. Once I reach the end of the Middlewich arm, I'm going to take a right down to Chester. I've never been to Chester before in my life. Well, I've just come off the Trent and Mersey Canal onto the Wardle Canal, which you can see the complete canal in this frame, in this picture. And I'm going to go into Wardle Lock. After Wardle Lock, we go on to the Shropshire Union Middlewich branch section. Coming into Wardle Lock here, it's not exactly boat friendly. Almost impossible to moor here, it's very high, trying to get back onto your boat. There's only one mooring ring which is in the wrong place. Yeah, so the single-handed boat is not great. Well, I've just come up in what I believe is the shortest navigable canal in the UK, which is the Wardle Canal. And from that bridge, I believe the lock is included, and then we go on to the Shropshire Union Middlewich branch thereafter. The old lock cottage here, quite large actually, isn't it? Very large building, a lot of outbuildings. So you may wonder why such a short canal. Well, when the Shropshire Union decided they wanted to build a link canal between their mainline Shropshire Union and the Trent and Mersey Canal, the Trent and Mersey Canal opposed this because of the loss of revenue. But to get around this, the Trent and Mersey actually built this very short section of canal, where of course they could charge tolls for going through it. Hence we have this very short canal here. Of course today we just pay the one licence for most of the canal and river network. So fortunately I don't have to pay extra to come through here. That's a little story of the Wardle Canal. Well, I'm leaving the Wardle Canal right now, in the Wardle Lock. I never filmed coming down King's Lock, or if I did, very little. The battery died as I entered the lock. I swapped the battery over, of course, now. I forgot this morning I got up and I went out filming yesterday. Came back with two flat batteries and the battery in the camera, forgot to charge them up, so only myself to blame. Well, after doing a couple of locks this morning, after they're warmed up, time to get rid of this. How long for I don't know, so I'll keep it handy. Well, another collapsed wall here on the Middlewich branch. Oh, it doesn't happen to what happened last time, but that was more due to a lock being left open. But yeah, not good, hey? I'm quite amazed there's no boats moored along this section this morning. Normally packed solid. Not far to the next lock, and then we don't particularly have any for a long time. I've now just finished passing all the 48-hour mooring US when it happened, as I remember watching it on TV, or on a couple of people's vlogs on YouTube. I did more there about 3 years ago, and I didn't stay there very long. There was no mooring rings. It's a concrete side and it's quite deep, and for some reason every boat going past you thought they could go flat out. Well, I had 6 pins in, double pinned in 3 places, and it pulled all my pins out, so that wasn't very good, so I moved on. I'll show you where it was as we go by. It's just up around the corner, just before we reach the next lock. And that was my last lock of the day, I think, if I remember rightly. I've actually been travelling in Tickover since I left the lock. One of the reasons behind that, there's a boat that's gone up in front of me, so he's going to get to the lock before me. There's no point in rushing up there. So I'll just poodle up, save a bit of diesel, and get there hopefully by the time he's cleared the lock. I caught sight of him just now on the fairly long straight, so I know he's not there yet. So we'll just poodle along, no hurry. You certainly don't buy a narrowboat, or you shouldn't buy a narrowboat if you're in a hurry to go anywhere. Well, I'm now just approaching the breach area. What was the breach area? It's not anymore. There's a lot of boats moored here. And it looks like they're all pinned in, so they haven't changed it to rings, which I thought perhaps they would have done by now. Oh well, it's not happened. And I can see the next lock in front of me, and that other boat's only just arrived. They can't be going any faster than me. Since I had to empty a lock and fill a lock since they left the last lock, and they're only 200 yards up the canal in front of me, perhaps 300 yards. Oh well, never mind, we'll poodle along as we always do. Well, all this concrete section here is what they replaced after the breach. See it on both this side and this side. Got quite an embankment here, but it's going over a small river. I can't remember the river's name offhand. I remember I'll put it at the bottom of the caption. And if you can actually see that stone there by the fence, that is actually the point of where the breach took place. It's got a plaque on the top and it tells you when it was, but I can't read it from here. I'm really surprised when they rebuilt this, they didn't put rings in all the way along here, but I see there is one there and another one there. Must have just put a few rings in just on the very last section. Shame that, because it's quite nice views from up here when it's not cloudy, and it's quite a good place to moor. I can see there's still rings along here, although this person has chosen to pin in. Well, this is the lock that was deemed to create the breach, and I'll explain a little bit more when we get up into the lock. I'll show you a few things they've done now, so hopefully it won't reoccur. I'm just leaving the lock now. What I wanted to tell you was the lock paddles on the lower gates are now fixed, so they'll only open about halfway. They did that after the breach because at the time boaters got told off or got blamed for leaving the paddles up at the bottom and the paddles up at the top. Well, of course, a boater's never going to do that. You'll never get your boat through the lock. And in the end, they did actually admit it was vandalism. So what they've done now, made it so those paddles won't fully rise, which I guess is a bit like, oh, it's not tied, but I forgot. That's what chatting does to you. Yeah. It's not. It wasn't tied, but. Oh, silly me. I put the rope up on the bank and I forgot all about it. That's what you get when you're chatting to another boater. So where was I? Yes, so at least now they've admitted it was sabotage, vandalism. Hampshire, could be wrong. Sheep in the field and cattle in the field next to it. These lovely oak trees in the field as well. But they got a few stories they could tell, they could talk. As we go past these boats here moored on the farmland, I'll let you know a little secret. Although it doesn't bother me too much, definitely the smell of the countryside, shall we say. Definitely the smell of the animals in the countryside, we will say. A little cloudy this morning, but it's not too cold. There's only a gentle breeze. It's quite nice for cruising. Doing rocks, it was perfect. I wonder if there's Australians on this boat. And the farmyard. Sort of boat you often find being used as a trader's boat. Being pushed along by another boat. Oh, when we went to the salt works the other day, I wonder if it's sort of related. That's the area we were in. But just a second ago, I went under a footbridge. And it's right on a corner. I hadn't seen a boat for ages, so you sort of get a bit complacent, don't you? And I didn't blast the horn. Of course, as soon as I get halfway through the bridge hole, guess what? There's a boat coming the other way. Fortunately, he did see me. I managed to stop and pull over. But yeah, typical, isn't it? It's been really quiet. And that's the only boats I've seen moving, coming towards me so far today. Anyway, we're just about to go under the railway bridge here. And you might be able to hear there's a plane going overhead as well. Probably didn't pick that up on the camera because I've got the GoPro out. Quite a few lines here going above us, I think. Must be one of the main rail links. Looks like there's 4 lines here. The original bridge here definitely carrying 2, and the new bridge we're just coming to looks like it would carry 2 as well. That's the right width to carry 2. This is quite unusual to see such lovely, neat, trimmed hedgerows along the canal. Nice to see a nice trimmed bush. Some nice Frisian cattle over here. Well, I see that these old converted stables here are for sale. Guess what I got back on the roof of my boat? Yes, I picked up some firewood this morning. It's September, it's time to start collecting that firewood again for Bridge 18. And if you wonder what those big black round things are on the walls there, there'll be a tie rod going right through the whole bridge. There'll be another one on the other side to stop the walls from bowing out, or bowing out I should say. And you'll see it has been doing and cracked. It's called grip bars, I think. And there you go on the other side as well. If I remember correctly, I don't have the book out with me, just after bridge 14 here, there's quite a busy road bridge. I believe there's moorings. If there is, I'm going to stop here and have some lunch. I can't see any moored there, so well, there is one up around the corner. Pretty sure this is where I'm going to stop for lunch. Yeah, I think I'm at the right place though. I've never been to this pub the Badger's in. I've actually got the sign up there, Church Minstrel, that's it. Pub, hotel, restaurant, 500 metres. Dogs welcome in the bar. Bridge 14. Yep, there is moorings here, and I'm going to stop here. It's lunchtime. I must say, this is not something I expected to find on the roof of my boat. Little froggy. Eh? Well, that wood you saw me collect earlier has been now processed, sawn up, split and stacked on the roof. Well, most of it's on the roof. There's a little bit here in the front well, ready to go inside to fill up my log box inside. I'll leave it here in the wind just to make sure it's nice and dry. Well, I'm going to bring this video to an end right here. As you can see, I've got laundry done in the background behind me, using of course my new washing machine, or newish now. So I'm at Church Minsel, well, I'm not actually recording this outro, but in this video I've just stopped at Church Minsel. So I was going to have a little walk in the morning down to Church Minsel. I decided to stay overnight after all, after I chopped up my firewood and everything, and I thought I'd have a little walk into the village. Well, it's not a very nice road to walk down. It's extremely busy, there's traffic in both directions, and you're in a very deep cutting as you start walking down, and it's a narrow road with no footpath. I chickened out. I just didn't want to get run over, so I'm afraid I didn't do a walk into Church Minsel. As I say, that's going to be the end of this video. Catch me in the next one when we get from here onto the Shropshire Union, heading down into Chester. So I'll catch up with you all again next Saturday for that one. Meanwhile, so of course a big thank you goes out to all my subscribers, Patreons, PayPal, super thanks, channel members, and everybody else of course that helps the channel in any way you do. Don't forget, if you're not already a member, please do subscribe and hit that old bell notification button and the all options button. That way YouTube should inform you every time I upload a new video. Well, that just leaves me to say thank you very much for watching. Trevor out.